Welcome to a broadcast of the recent Lorain County Commissioners' General Meeting. Unless otherwise announced, meetings are held Wednesday morning at the Administration Building, 226 Middle Avenue, 4th floor, downtown Elyria. These are public meetings and you are invited to attend. Agendas are posted prior to the meeting at www.loraincounty.us. Click on Departments to see the Commissioners page, then click on View Agenda.
Good morning. Can we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good morning and welcome to the May 6th meeting of the Lorain County Board of Commissioners. Mrs. Beitelman is going to do our prayer this morning.
Lord, bless our commissioners and staff as they're meeting today to conduct matters of business for Lorain County. Guide their hearts and minds in the spirit of fairness, right thought, and speech. Impart your supreme wisdom upon their activities so that their affairs may reach a successful conclusion. And thank you for being their source of guidance today, each and every day. Father, we thank you for that in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Tony Shanahan's taken her home. She said she's going to come down. She's available tomorrow. We have a little Chihuahua. This is actually the first dog I ever had growing up. Same color and everything. Her name was Tiger, and I couldn't even touch her. She just like my mom, and that was it. Chihuahuas are a lot friendlier these days than they were, I think, back in the day. But she's available tomorrow, so come down to the kennel, pick her up, take her home. Check us out on Facebook. If you don't want a little dog, you want a big dog like Ted likes. Oh, you want to get a kiss? Okay. Oh, yes. Oh, you want to go? She's coming home with me. Sorry, Tony. Check us out. How many dogs do we have? 35. We need your help. Please, please, please. If you're thinking about getting a dog, come to the kennel first. Thank you. Madam Clerk?
Today at 9:45, we'll have our second public hearing on CDBG FY15 under resolutions. Number 1, investments.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Mr. Kalo.
Aye.
Appropriations.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Mr. Kalo.
Aye.
Transfers.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Mr. Kalo.
Aye.
Advances and repayments.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Mr. Kalo.
Aye.
Requisitions.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Mr. Kalo.
Aye.
There is no travel bills.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Mr. Kalo.
Aye.
Before we go on, I just want to commend Lisa Hobart from our budget department. We have new forms, I'm sure you guys noticed, for the transfers and advances. We used to do them on a typewriter, the old-fashioned way, and we are now doing them on the computer, and so hopefully we can, I'm sure all the people that are used to do those are very happy that they don't have to do it on a typewriter any longer, and hopefully get rid of those and free up some space in those offices.
Save some trees.
Save some trees, yep, save some space. No more, hopefully no more maintenance contracts, so hopefully it'll save us a little bit of money too. Thanks, Lisa.
Thank you. Under the Commissioners, authorize various personnel actions as indicated on the summary sheet for employees within jurisdiction of Lorain County Commissioners.
Mr. Cortez, welcome back.
Thank you. I wish I could tell you I was happy to be back.
We can make that permanent.
Well, if you could find me a nice place in the Napa Valley, I would certainly consider changing venues. Thank you, Commissioner. I do have a number of personnel issues, Golden Acres, Job and Family Services, Maintenance Department, that I wish to discuss with the board. Also, an update on our contract at 911 and the purchase and sale of real estate. All three of those topics will have under the Sunshine Act for executive session discussions. So I'd ask at the conclusion of our regular board meeting, we go into executive session and we talk about those three issues. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Approve and waive the reading of the minutes of April 29th.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Mr. Kayla.
All right.
Authorize various employee salary increases for bailiffs, Lorain Municipal Court, effective April 1st, 2015, which reflects the county's 2/5 share. Tom Borowitz at biweekly rate is $804.72. Bianca Viller, biweekly rate is $730, and Daniel Chris Cook, biweekly rate is $1,062.88.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
Got a question. Wouldn't Daniel Chris Cook be under a magistrate, not a bailiff, though? I know he's a magistrate over there. They just all logged into the same amount.
He is a magistrate, but he gets the same thing.
Right, but it is as a magistrate, not just bailiff.
Right.
Okay,
yeah,
thank
sorry.
you.
Yeah. Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Mr. Kayla.
Aye.
Award contract to Williams Brothers Builders Leary in the amount of $73,600 for the detention home front entrance renovation project. This being the second time bids were received for the project, one bid was received again on April 23rd. Issue notice to proceed on or before May 22nd and complete on or before August 21st. Authorize administrator to notify the auditor to release retainage at completion of project.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
Mr. Cortez, any reason why you think we're only getting one bid on this project? Is it specialty work of some sort?
The detention home, let me give a little history here, because I really hate awarding things with one bid. I'm pretty determined to get more than one most times, especially with our CHIP program work, because we've had such a problem with the states and their view of what they think is not a competitive process. We went out to bid with this the first time, and we spent quite a bit of money bidding it, and we only had one person come out and bid the job. So I didn't pass along that to the board for your consideration, because I felt we should try a second time, and we did, and we put out there, we contacted folks, we advertised, and we still only received one bid. I just think it's the nature of the job. People really aren't interested in that work that we're bidding right now. That's why I offer it to you with only the one bid. Could we go out a third time? We could, but each time costs us quite a bit of money to rebid this. We have familiarity with, I think it's Williams Brothers here. They've worked with us before. We consider them a good contractor. I think we'll get a good job. I think the price is competitive. It's within the estimates. But it's the decision of the board, whether you want to send us back to the well for a third attempt at getting more quotes. The one thing that worries me is that Williams Brothers is quoted now twice. Will they quote a third time if we go back out? I don't know.
Yeah, Madam President, I asked the very same question of Karen, why we were only getting one. And I mean, it's good that we went out a second time, as long as it's close to what we saw as our estimates, then,
Yes, sir.
Comfortable with it. But yes, I think if we went through this a third time, we might come back at zero.
That would be the concern. I'd have a lot of concern going back out if we're not awarding after.
We try real hard. This is a local company. They put a lot of time and effort into coming out. Even though they've been out there before and bid before, they have to come back out and look at the existing conditions. They still have to come to a pre-bid conference to conform with our bidding documents. And I don't want to have Williams Brothers thinking, well, what do we got against them too? Since they're the only one that keeps showing up. It's open to everybody. I can't explain why on the second time we didn't have any takers.
Are we direct mailing to businesses, or is it just
No,
going in
we
the newspaper?
advertise. We get the word out as best we can. It's on the websites. And at times we send out notices. We have to be very careful about that people don't think that we're directing traffic
Right.
in the bid process. I really like the RFB process a lot better. It gives you a lot more flexibility, but we're limited in the sealed bid so that there's not a thinking that we Cuyahoga this.
Okay.
Sorry.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay.
All
I
right.
would suggest we pass.
Okay, let's go forward with it.
Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Mr. Kayla.
All right.
Adopting a policy and procedure to consider when evaluating lowest and best bidders for awarding construction of contracts.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Mr. Kayla.
All right.
Authorize a vacation view and hearing of Eagle Nest Drive, Eden Township, view to be on Tuesday, June 16th at 9:30, and hearing to be held Tuesday, July 7th at 9:30.
That's not the one that was canceled?
No, we're still going with that. It was canceled, but we're still having that other one on that day, but this is,
Yeah, there's two on that
Yeah.
date, correct? Or there was going to be.
there
was going to
was,
be
but we
two,
needed to
correct.
change it, yeah.
Okay, so moved.
Second.
Discussion.
This will be Mr. Lundy's first chance of seeing a vacation of a road.
Yes,
There you
and
go.
his first ditch hearing.
And his first ditch hearing.
I can
we're-
hardly
Welcome
wait.
to
tennis
county
shoes or
government.
boots.
Well, maybe it could be
Fernley's right.
raining, and there could be about 7 inches of water we're slogging through, with angry people out there yelling at us.
Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Mr. Kayla.
Aye.
Under Community Development, award contract to Burnett's Septic Service, LaGrange, in the amount of $11,856.77, which includes a 10% contingency for Michael Morgan at 66 Rosa Street, Kipton, to install a septic system. 14 invitations were sent, 3 received, this being the best and most responsive, and will be paid from the account Ohio Housing Trust.
So moved.
Second.
Well,
Discussion.
it was nice to see that we had 3 in this.
Yeah, let me also
Sometimes
tell you,
see
Out of
discussion.
Commissioner, that a couple items came down from community development. I've only offered the one for your consideration because we only received one bid on the last one, and I think it was 11 or 12 invitations went out. We only had one bid. If we go back out and we receive one bid again, I'm going to have to really, really think seriously about
Our
passing
process.
that to you, because these are funds that are used to help people that have problems in their homes, and sometimes it's emergency repairs. We're just not getting a lot of takers on these type of jobs. But I want to be able to tell the state that we went out at least twice and didn't receive as many bids, and hopefully that'll be good enough for them. But we'll keep working at it.
All right, thank you.
Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Mr. Kayla.
Aye.
Mr. Cortez.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I do have one major issue for consideration. That has to do with Job and Family Services. I was late to get it to the agenda, and with all the paperwork on my desk when I came back, it's really hard to catch up on a week's work in one day. This is a sub-agreement that needs to be done with Job and Family Services, Lorain County, and the Ohio Department of Medicaid. There's been some changes in how the funds flow. Now, instead of just a sub-recipient, you got a sub-recipient, because they now another department taking care of the Medicaid, but it still goes over to Job and Family Services to us. So it's more bureaucratic misery and complexity than is really necessary, but if we don't sign the forms, we don't get our Medicaid allocation. So I'd ask that you pass a resolution authorizing that for Job and Family Services to submit it.
You want to read you need a resolution for
It's
it?
yes, it's a sub-recipient
Okay.
agreement.
Approve the sub-grant agreement with the Ohio Department of Job and Family Services. Or whatever Jim said, because I can't read this fast. through this
It's from-
thing,
it's-
so-
It's a lot.
It's
Medicaid.
between the Medicaid and
Yeah.
the Department of Job and Family Services in Lorain County.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Mr. Kayla.
Aye.
Is that it?
I will leave to you the news about whichever one wants about our allocation from yesterday, so I'll yield to council.
Mr. Innes.
Commissioners, I do wish to have an executive session. I have 2 issues of pending or imminent litigation, and 1 matter of sale purchase of real estate.
Commissioners report.
Been working on a donation drive for Goodwill, so Mike Chandler, would you come up? He's been working on that for me, getting it all together so you can make the announcement of when and where and how and what, if you would. Thank you.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
The Commissioners, in support of the Goodwill Industries, would like to have a drive for clothing, shoes, accessories like purses, belts, ties, scarves, hats, etc., and then linens and blankets. And we're going to be, we created this flyer to send out, and we'll give it to all the county departments, and they're welcome to bring the materials into the 5th floor. We have a recycling or a closed drive bin that we will put those in, and then Second Harvest, or Goodwill will will pick those up. And the drive is going to be from May 26th, the Tuesday, to Tuesday, June 9th. And the idea is this time of the year, I know I'm doing it, I'm going into the attic and I'm getting the summer clothes out and putting the winter clothes in. And it's a good time for me to go through and get the ones that don't fit any longer or out of style, and then I could donate those to Goodwill Industries. And I hope other county employees can do the same. But we'll get this flyer out to all the departments. If anyone has any questions, they can reach me on extension 2361.
Would there be a benefit to adding this drop-off also at the collection center?
We're working on that, right?
Yeah, we have some other ideas in line, but we wanted to get this drive out as soon as possible.
While we're spring cleaning, you know, going through.
That long weekend coming up at the end of the month.
Right.
There's some inherited challenges at the collection center that we need to seriously consider. But there may be a drive out there. I'll work with you on that, Commissioner.
Okay, good, thank you. Any of these organizations that give back to the community, instead of those boxes that you see that you don't know where the donations are going, we really need to support our own. So thank you for putting that together. Appreciate it.
All right, you're welcome.
Just want to congratulate all those in yesterday's election that had won yesterday. Good luck in your endeavors if you're new to government. We do have summer discount tickets on sale for Cedar Point, Geauga Lake, money orders only. Yet, yeah, absolutely no cash or personal checks will be accepted. For tickets or information, contact Melissa or Casey on the 4th floor of Purchasing Department. Call extension 5225 or extension 5240. So discount tickets, always good to help you take your family on a nice little mini vacation.
Commissioner?
Yes.
Those are for employees only.
Right.
Well,
I didn't specify that, did I? Employees only.
It's under our group employee number. Now, they can buy them and do what they want after they buy them, but they have to be a county employee.
In order to purchase the discount tickets. Thank you for clarifying that for me. This week, we attended the elected officials reception at Parker's Grill in Avon. Really nice place. I hadn't been there before. Avon Lake.
Avon Lake.
Thank you.
The folks in Avon and Avon Lake are sensitive to that.
They are.
So,
You're right.
which side of the border you're on?
Which side of the tracks?
The railroad tracks.
Really good food. Nice place. Nice place to have an event. That was hosted by the BIA, the landlords, and the realtors, I believe. Monday, we were here to host for the Ohio checkbook, so we will have all of our finances online for everyone to see. Did they pick the ugliest picture I've ever seen of all three of us? That was a terrible photo. I don't know where they got that.
The two of us always take bad pictures, but.
Right. Gosh, I think there's so much other things. I think that's it. Maybe something else will come to me after you guys go. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, on top of all that, there was a lot of fundraisers all weekend.
Oh, my gosh.
Congratulations to those who won, and congratulations to those who all participated. Win or lose, it takes a lot sometimes to hang yourself out there for an election, but we're looking forward to November and onward. Also, our county land bank yesterday was awarded an additional $296,000. We're one of 7 top performers in the state of Ohio to receive more OFA dollars, so we're actually having our land bank meeting today at 11:30 to release more information, see how many more homes we can tear down, but an average cost of about $15,000. We should do 18 to 20 homes.
Well, I think the release that came out of the OFA folks indicated for the 7 land banks that had demonstrated exceptional performance during the first phase of the grant process. So, we're going to receive our second round of funding based upon that, and this is a third round of additional funding. So those naysayers that...
I'd like to thank Jim Kokoski for all his help while we're at it.
Well, he just kind of gave us the momentum to, drive
Inspiration.
hard down
I like
the
that
road.
word, inspiration, to
overperform.
Yeah,
not that we wouldn't have overachieved anyway, but it was just that much sweeter.
Yes.
So only 7 additional land banks received funding, and we were one of those 7. So I think we're heading in the right direction.
Well, yeah, we're looking at way over $3 million now. towards doing demolitions in our community, so,
Yeah, we should be about 3.3 roughly.
yeah, so I mean, it's wonderful for the area to clean up these neighborhoods. I mean, the residents really like when we take down those homes and clean up
Well, the only
these
troubling
roads.
part was they based the allocation on the original dollars that were granted. I still think that they're undervaluing the problem in some of the less densely populated communities. For instance, Cuyahoga got 10 times the money we got, but I don't believe they have 10 times the problem, and they definitely don't have 10 times the population if you do it by population. But any money is still better. But we're sending off correspondence to the OFA people suggesting that if there's a fourth round of funding, that they consider a different way of dividing the dollars other than on the base allocation, so that we could receive greater funding, because we still have unmet needs in our community.
No, good job by the Land Bank and the Port Authority. Into my report.
Yeah, I too would like to commend you, Jim, the county administrator, prosecutor's office, Chris, Port Authority, Pat, Jerry, the whole group that's been working on the land bank to make it such a success. And certainly this latest award is proof that we're doing the right things. This is really changing communities and changing neighborhoods, and is going to help to improve property values, which when we improve property values, that helps the schools and everybody else involved in the communities. So thank you for all of your work on this. We had the elected officials reception over there at Parker's Grill in Avon Lake. Just a great turnout for that, and a nice restaurant too. If you haven't been there yet in Lorain County, you should probably check that out.
Tell you, the duck wings are amazing.
You're promoting the duck wings.
The duck wings are
Okay.
amazing.
I might pass on those, but Cinco de Mayo, Mexican Mutual, they had a nice buffet there on Wednesday. It was good to see Joel Arredondo working the grill over there at Mexican Mutual. Congratulations to the Urban League for returning to downtown Elyria. Saturday was the Cinco de Mayo parade. That was a great event. A lot of folks there, and our Lorain County Sheriff's deputies held their steak fry over there at the Amherst Eagles on Saturday. The Lions did another great breakfast on Sunday at IAV, and the Chiefs Association, the Police Chiefs Association over there at DeLuca's had a nice event. Want to thank my colleagues. We've worked cooperatively and in conjunction with the Treasurer's Office so that we could be the first county in Northeast Ohio to put the county checkbook online, working through some of the logistics with the Treasurer's Office. The Treasurer's Office is talking about being able to put that information on hopefully in late June so that the residents will be able to see how we're spending your tax dollars. Good meeting yesterday with Visit Lorain County, talking about the upcoming RNC convention, Republican National Convention. About 50,000 individuals expected to be here for that. 15,000 members of the media alone. A real opportunity there for us to cash in, hopefully. Lots of hotel rooms are going to be needed for that. And then on a personal note, Friday I went to Kent State University with Katie Lundy, my niece, who was trying to decide whether she wanted to major in marketing or broadcast journalism. And when I was there, she decided she's going to major in broadcast journalism in the fall, so she's going to somewhat continue the family tradition of working in journalism. So just want to commend her, and very proud of her. She's a good, bright young lady. That concludes my report.
Board correspondence.
I move the reading be waived.
Second.
Discussion. Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Mr. Kayla.
Aye.
We go into our public hearing.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This is the second public hearing for the CDBG allocation program grant. It's a requirement to have the public hearings to submit the application. This public hearing is being conducted on behalf of the Lorain County Commissioners in order to make application for CDBG Community Development Allocation Program Grant Program year 2015. The first public hearing was held on February the 25th, 2015, where the program and general guidelines for the application were explained. Also during that presentation, the eligibility requirements and application process were discussed. During this second public hearing, I will present the basic grant requirements and proposed projects to be submitted in this application for CDBG Community Development Allocation Program Grant Program, PY 2015. Some of the guidelines for the application are that Lorain County is permitted up to 20% of the allocation to administer the program, which includes, in that 20% includes fair housing program that we must have. The county cannot exceed 15% of its total allocation for public service projects. Lorain County is limited to no more than 4 county activities in one given year. Fair housing administration are considered one activity, but not one of the 4. Counties that include a city that received a direct allocation for the years 2010, 11, 12, the county is required to undertake at least one project for that community. This is the last year that we are mandated to do a project for the city of North Ridgeville. This year they're submitting a project which has a total of $33,115. We also must meet one of the 3 national objectives, which is benefiting low to moderate income persons, addressing slum and blighted areas, and or meeting a particular urgent need. And the urgent need is one of devastation, an earthquake. We wouldn't have a tsunami, but something of great impact, a tornado. The county's PY15 community development allocation this year is $314,000, and that is $38,000 more than last year. In the past, our allocations have decreased. This year, we are getting more money because there was some extra money to spread around. Notification and applications for funds for this CDBG application were mailed to townships, villages, small cities, main streets, public service organizations in Lorain County, and that was done on February the 11th of this year. It was also a requirement that we had a CDS meeting, and we gathered all the communities and found out what their needs were. This year we received 8 requests for funding. The applications were reviewed for eligibility under the program guidelines and for compliance with the national objectives. Today I'm presenting the projects for the grant application, and it is our desire after the public hearing that we submit to the Board of Commissioners an application for approval, and then the application will be submitted to the State of Ohio Development Services Agency prior to the June 26, 2015 deadline. The proposed projects are Parks and Recreation Facilities activity in the city of North Ridgeville to install walkways at the Shady Drive Park. This is a national objective of limited clientele. $33,100 will be used from Community Development Allocation Grant Funds. The next project is street improvements activity. Oberlin is to pave and make improvements on Groveland Street in Oberlin. The national objective is LMI Service Benefit Area. $100,000 will be used from allocation funds. $66,646 will be from Oberlin's revolving loan fund, and $98,411 will be from Oberlin's capital funds. The next project is a sewer facility improvements, street improvements. That is in Carlisle Township, and that's to install storm sewer, and to widen and pave Hope Court. The national objective is LMI Service Benefit Area. $78,100 from allocation grant funds, $100,000 of Lorain County's RLF fund. The fourth project is a public service project, Neighborhood Alliance, to conduct a Meals on Wheels program. $40,000 of allocation grant funds. The national objective is limited clientele. Of course, we will be doing fair housing, that is $10,000, and administration is $52,800. Lorain County will also be submitting a set-aside grant, and that will be for the city of Amherst. Their Main Street, they're going to do a private rehabilitation design activity, which is under the Downtown Revitalization Grant. The total of that grant is $300,000. $270,000 is from the is for the Downtown Revitalization Grant. $30,000 is for admin. And the competitive set-aside grant, they have until August 31st, 2017 to complete their projects. With all of the other projects I listed, we only have until December 31st, 2016. And that is it. And I ask for any comments or questions.
Fine job as always.
Thank you.
Any questions from the audience? Do we need a motion to approve?
We need a motion to close the
Close
hearing
and then approve.
approve.
Okay. Motion to close the public hearing?
Second.
Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Mr. Kayla.
Aye.
Motion for approval?
Second.
Any discussion? Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Mr. Kayla.
Aye.
Thanks, Linda.
You're
Fine
welcome.
Great job.
And now we'll go to public comment.
Public comment? Anybody wishing to? Mr. Bailey.
Commissioners, 3 items
God
of
bless you,
interest
Brad.
for you this morning. First, to announce we are the recipients of $140-some thousand in EPA grant money again. $130,000 of that is to go towards the shred truck we're going to buy and manage. We have to match it with a third of our money. $12,000 for tires, and that includes the ag tire collection. And we also had a market development grant awarded to Second Harvest through our office, $6,425 for their baler and their new facility. So those are the results of the grants. And something else of interest for you. This will make our total of grants received during my tenure $1,077,225. So when the fees went away, we had to go somewhere else to supplement that, and we've done that very well.
Nice.
Tiffany Barker is our grant writer with Mike Challenger, and Tiffany gets to manage the backside of all the grants, which is the hard work, the money and handling the money. So thank you for that. Second, shred day. 9.5 tons of shredding material, 582 vehicles, and 1,645 pounds of food donated to Second Harvest, so it was a good day. And last but least, the plan today is out for written comments. It's up on the website. The public can view it. We're open for written comments through June 4th of this year, and public hearing will be held on June 9th at 10:15 a.m. in Room D on the plan. So if anybody wants to publicly comment on the plan, now is the time period to do that. This is, in my tenure of 7 plans, this has been the most open and process I've ever gone through. And it's been a very good planning cycle. So hopefully we can get that plan out for ratification before the end of June, all right?
Well, don't run off, Keith. We didn't talk about Take Back the Black River cleanup with all the tires and everything. I know Lynn was down there from our community development. Don, any update you want to give on that? I was talking to Kurt and Paige Hernan on that, and the Beavers and
And the beavers.
Thank you, Commissioner. Yes, Lynn Ickes and myself were out there along with some of the Black River crew. And we moved, I think the Chronicle had picked up one large truck tire they had a picture of, and that group had found about, I think it was 10 others. My group had the misfortune of finding a tire taller than me that we moved out. And I know we had moved at least 4 pickup trucks worth of tires just right around the river on the old Lorain City landfill. Lynn was also able to bring in and show a lot of people the work we've been doing on the river. Home Depot was very generous in their donations. Everyone had a big orange 5-gallon bucket to put their trash in, and when I was out there, there were well over 200 people at the beginning in the morning, and then most of them stayed till 2 o'clock when we were at Lakeside to have some pasta and to kind of refresh ourselves after a long day out in the field. But we were able to interact with a lot of people and show them what a Phragmite is and how we killed it, and then also a little bit of interesting nature with, I think the picture in the paper was Lynn showing a deer skull, and the number of deer that are out there and eagles and whatnot in Lorain right across from the steel mill is just amazing.
I was told over 400 tires,
That's easy to believe.
and then they ended up having to move 100 yesterday because they couldn't get them close enough to the dumpster, so people went back out and moved another 100 to get them closer because they ran out of room.
Yeah,
So it's nice to be a part of that for our community development, be a part of that, and Lynn, of course, and
Well, and thank you for helping make this happen. We did, the board did provide a sponsorship of $500 in partnership with Great Lakes Restoration Initiative. And so that's part of our money going back to the community. Thank you.
While Don's at the podium, I'd like to point out that on June 9th, there's a summit in Columbus on restoring neighborhoods and strengthening economies, and Don's been selected as a keynote speaker at the summit, so he's going to represent Lorain County down there. I'm very proud of him. The Port Authority was sending members down because it has a lot to do with the land bank and the Port Authority work, and Don didn't really say too much about it. We just saw his name on the speaker list. He had mentioned that he was submitting some materials some time back, so congratulations.
Thank
It's
you.
nice to get Lorain County out into the mix with those folks, letting them know that we're on the map here, and I look forward to being at your presentation. Not to put the heat on, but I will be there, and I will be supporting you, and great job, Don.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
And of course, Mr. Bailey, I should have said the same thing. He just came back from a speaking engagement or two himself. So, we have some really great staffers getting out there, being respected for the work they do, and being asked to speak to people on how they can duplicate that work. And I believe that demonstrates that we're on the cutting edge of what's going on.
And maybe the county should charge a $25,000 speaking fee and make some money while we're
That
doing
would be
this.
Jim Rakakis' job.
Okay.
Sorry. But speaking fee would be nice.
Anybody else wishing to come up and speak? Seeing none, I move that we go into executive session as outlined by both the county administrator and the assistant county prosecutor.
Second.
Ms. Kowski?
Aye.
Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Mr. Kayla?
All right.
This has been a broadcast of the recent Lorain County Commissioners' General Meeting. Unless otherwise announced, meetings are held Wednesday morning at 9:30 at the Administration Building, 226 Middle Avenue, 4th floor, downtown Elyria. These are public meetings, and you are invited to attend. Agendas are posted prior to the meeting at www.loraincounty.un. Click on Departments to see the Commissioners page, then click on View Agenda for a printable copy of the agenda.
Hey, buddy, how you doing there? Here, have a treat, okay? No one